Hello gamers, welcome to my podcast. I'm your host Carnage and we are starting the season 2 of the TPP perspective with the episode 1. Today we have to talk about a lot of stuff from news from esports and gaming and from entertainment, and also as usual we have a segment of retro reviews in which I talk about games that I played and I review them. So without further ado, let's begin. In our esports division of the podcast, today we have many different type of news. We will talk about some controversies and the most recent changes in the rosters of esports organizations. So before we move to the elephant in the room, let's deal with some short topics that are to be dealt today. First of all, we will talk about the Rostermania that's happening in the CSGO sides of the esports division. 100 Thieves have made a major move after they have signed Device, Rain, Egil, Sira and Void. Hedrick had left Bait, and Astralis had released Stan and has added Fizy and Ryu for their upcoming roster for 2026. On the other side, thieves has joined Heroic and has replaced Youngstar from the team. Then there are reports coming from Mongolian rifler Senju, who might now opt to any interview given to HLTV. The HLTV sources have reported that Senju is considering to switch to off, despite Senju being one of the top riflers right now. This decision of his is being scrutinized by critics and lovers of the CS esports scene. Now, moving to some major esports roster changes, VCT, the team which had Simple and Electronic playing on their roster, has now hired Taz as their head coach, and also they have bought the core Saw trial of Vitaris, Aragon and Crazy. And BC Games so now is a very packed and a star-studded team. I think we should be keen on watching what BCG does in the 2026 circuit. Also in the roster changes, Nico Dawes has joined Ecstatic, the Ecstatic being the team who is owned by Zippel, very famous CS personality on the social media. And now moving on to some controversies, we will talk about the FaZe Fiasco. FaZe Fiasco. Anybody who has been into gaming and has been part of any esports community or has been active in general in gaming and streaming side of the internet must have heard about FaZe Clan, the glorious esports clan, and a bunch of content creators being active on platforms like Twitch and YouTube, and their esports division, which is spanning to most of the FPS titles. Have you heard of it? That FaZe Clan has recently been under a lot of news after a massive exodus of content creators from FaZe Clan. FaZe Rug, Swag, Apex, Adapt, Your Rage, Chasing the Wind, Lacy, Stable Ronaldo, Silky, and Ketan are the notables who have left the FaZe Clan over the failed contract negotiation with Hardscope, the new management of FaZe Media. FaZe Clan, FaZe Media and FaZe Esports. During my readings about it, I was totally confused, so I deep dived in this FaZe hole and was astonished by the ups and downs the road of FaZe Clan has been. FaZe was a caught sniping clan, established by Clips, Resistance, Outcat, Temper around 2010. Later, FaZe Banks became a part of the clan, and during its lifetime, the clan had many members, a lot of fans, and many esports athletes, and with their social media presence. But during the research, I realized that this recent scenario of FaZe has a tipping point. This FaZe fall that we are currently seeing started when tfue, one of the biggest streamers of that time, had a lawsuit with the FaZe Clan itself. That was the fact, tfue at that time was signed by the FaZe Clan as a streamer and content creator. The whole lawsuit was a result of tfue claiming FaZe taking extensive commissions up to 80% of their sponsorships and 50% of live stream revenues that tfue used to get. FaZe Banks, in the court and out of the court in the social handles, fought tfue hard, and eventually the dispute was settled. But this dispute between FaZe management and the fan favorite streamer made dent in the FaZe Clan to make of a friendly clan which is loved by the fans and made of all friends to something which is less of a jolly remembrance. Despite FaZe having dispute with one of its content creators and having a drama on the social media about it, the business side of the FaZe Clan was thriving in 2021 with fundings from BN Capitals and being led by some ex-Disney executive as their CEO. FaZe Clan was the first esports organization to go public and was listed on Nasdaq. As per the reports, the FaZe was a $1 billion enterprise at that time. But eventually this wealth was gone, as FaZe Holdings by 2023 lost 50% of its value. What was the cause? Based on the fact that there was too many operating losses, as salaries and expensive content houses and esports teams which majorly lost money. The backside fundings from the merch and brand deals were not enough to support this money river that was flowing out of FaZe Clan. Also, during 2023, there was a stock crisis going on, which was also a major role player in this downfall of FaZe's run on the Nasdaq. The situation was such drastic that the share of the FaZe holdings was trading less than $1 at the Nasdaq. this collapse of FaZe forced them into a split. One part being FaZe Esports and the other being FaZe Media. FaZe Esports was an all esports division owned by Game Square, which was focused on esports and tournaments and had nothing to do with creators. And while on the other hand, FaZe Media, which was co-owned by the new management at Hardscope, which dealt with brand deals and content creator segments, was formed. This side of the FaZe Media, which is facing the collapse right now, is the main reason why FaZe is in the news. FaZe Media, which is managed by Hardscope, has allegedly been interfering with the contract of its content creators, and there was some disagreement in contracts and payment with the content creators, which led to most of the content creators on FaZe clan to leave the clan on the Christmas day of 2025. Now, we will talk about HLTV awards, which took place in Belgrade, Serbia. Team of the year, Vitality was announced the team of the year. I think their overall the performance of Vitality in 2025 was enough, winning the majors, and their performance did lackluster quite a while, a bit of second half of the 2025 season, but closing major victory was defining on their spot as a team of the year 2025. And as the individual awards, opener of the year goes to Donk as usual. He with his rifling is phenomenal, and right now I don't think anybody could challenge the way Donk enters with her rifle and opens the duels, and most of the time wins them. And closer of the year went to ropz from Vitality, and nobody can doubt that the way ropz has been playing since CS2 came, where he was on FaZe. His performance when he moved to Vitality, his lurking and his clutches are something that was remarkable in 2025 as usual. So I think these two awards are well placed. And offer of the year went to zywoo. Again, I think in my personal opinion, zywoo with off in 2025 was not so evident as he has been in previous years, but when you look back, I think most of the contestants were not able to replicate what zywoo has been doing past few years. But I think if not zywoo, I would have wanted Molodoi to be the offer of the year, because his performance on Furia has been very impressive, and we will talk about his performance and the results of how he performed this year in a minute. And then as the creator of the year and the streamer of the year, Dima Wallhacks and Ohnepixel respectively won these awards, and I think they are well deserved. And Olofmeister being nominated in the Hall of Fame is something very I was very happy to see, because Olof, Simple are some of the players who have been dominating at a time in the game, and their impact on the game still can be felt when you give call-outs on train, and those graffitis that are famous in the CS community. So I think congratulations to all these winners. Now moving to the top 20 players of 2025 calendar, I have made this chart of comparing 2024 calendar top 20 players and top 20 players of 2025. As you can see, there have been 3 new debutants in the top 20. At the 6th number, Molodoi, at 12th, Metzi, and at 13th, Senzu are new players who have debuted in the HLTV top 20 players of the year award list. With this, Senzu being the first Mongolian player to ever come up in the HLTV top 20 ranking. Metzi having a phenomenal performance in the major and in the finals with the yellow jersey of Vitality on him. He has debuted at the 12th number, and that's fantastic, and I think well deserved. Also, I have talked about Molodoi, so the words are less how this young fellow has performed and impressed the players and viewers of the Counter-Strike Esports this year. Now, talking about some names, those were present in 2024 but were absent in 2025. You can see marked down: JL, Broky, Wonderful, Mark, Grimfat, and Lee are few names who were there present. And out of this, JL being out of the CS scene, taking a break. Broky was also on a break, but he returned. And Wonderful, Mark, Grimfat, Lee, these all players have very good caliber, but they were not able to perform as they do usually. So I think we should keep an eye of what they are planning and how they are improving, and if they are able to come back to their track in 2026 season. Moving to this year's, zywoo was named Player of the Year award and the Offer of the Year award. He moved 2 points above his last year's 3rd place. At the second, Donk fell ranking down. He was the Player of the Year in 2024. He made it the most highest leap that any player has got is ropz, who jumped 15 points from last year's 18th position to 3rd this year. Well deserved again. Monesi had a lackluster year, and he dropped 2 points from ranking 2 in 2024 to rank 4 in 2025. Shiro has jumped a point. Then Flimsy is the only player who has maintained his rankings. He was placed 7th earlier year and this year also. But I think Flimsy this year for me was lacking a bit of his firepower that he is famous for. But let's see if he can come back to his better days in 2026. Then Frozen, with his fantastic carrying of FaZe in the finals, has jumped 2 points to 8 from last year's 10th. K Sarato has returned in the top 20 playlist with Twist. Both were absent in last year. Then on the 10th, point Sphinx, a player that I lastly when I talked about, I said we should keep an eye on him, has improved his rating by 3 and has now moved on the 10th position. Then Zantaris has moved 1 point up. Yakinder has also come back in the top 20 after being out of this list for a while. Zerson has lost his rating by 2, and I think Zerson has lost 2 points in the rating and has fallen to 16, and definitely it was not Zerson's year. I rate him very highly, and this year's his performance in Mouse and performance in Mouse as a team itself has taken a fall, while Torsley still has climbed 3 points and has been rated 17 this year. And among the falls, there are 2 major falls that have happened. Nico has fallen down 14 points to 18th position this year, and Ema has dropped 3 to 19, and we close this year's top 20 player list by Bit, who has registered a fall of 11 points from last year's 9th position.
Now the news for those who are waiting for some tournaments to happen, as 2026 circuit for Counter-Strike and Valorant both are starting soon, with Counter-Strike Last Bounty Season 1 is starting from January 12th, and VCT 2026 is starting from January 16th. So anybody who is interested to watch some fantastic esports this season, be ready, a lot is coming your way. Now, in the gaming section, we are moving with the first topic of the day, is the major Valorant patch. Patch 12 has been announced and is active, and with this, there has been many additions in the game. First of all, a new pisyol-bandit has been added. There are many map changes being done, in which Breeze has been reworked, and there are minor changes on Heaven and Korod, which I call these changes as Brock effect. And a new mode, all random one site, has been added. There are some hidden MMR calculation changes, and they have also announced the new VCT 2026, which will be starting from January 16th. Also, new team capsules have been launched, and in custom games, now replay has been added. The devs have also talked about a future update in which you can download replays from the career history of your friends to watch their replays, and also there have been major buffs to Harbor, Beach, Breach, and Vice, and I think there are a bit of compensatory changes in the gameplay of tfue. Also, a new bundle has been announced, Ayakashi bundle. If you have seen the bundle, comment down below what do you think about it and have you purchased it. And then there are some additional UI changes and queue changes and some battle pass stuff that we will talk about in a while. Now let's talk about Bandit. In the new patch 2012, a new weapon has been added to Valorant. Many are comparing to the CS's 5.7. It's called Bandit. It's a gun which in price and effect stands between a ghost and a sheriff. The main plus point of this weapon is it is said to one-shot headshot with any enemy on light armor. If you have played with Bandit, comment down below what are your opinions about this gun. Now the major change that has taken place is that we have been introduced to a rework Breeze. Ropes have been removed. The ropes that used to take you to the halls has been removed, and a passage has been added to the mid. Now, moving on to the A main, there used to be an impenetrable box here, which has been removed. At A side, now has now been rotated a bit, and the boxes behind the yellow container, which was used by agents which cannot fly or boost themselves up, used to jump on this container, has been removed, and this new cubby has been introduced for the attackers to defend post this fight. Now moving on to A link, an extra set of doors have been added with the original two doors that used to be there, and on the A side there used to be a wooden plank here. This wooden plank was used by defenders to hide themselves from the offending team. Now it has been removed, and the most important change is that the stairs have been removed that used to take us to the halls. Now the major question that will come, why these stairs have been removed. The reason is being that the hall itself has been removed from the mid, and now you have this passage that takes you to the CT spawn, and the passage from the rope side that takes you to mid was originally the vent that used to take anybody in the halls to the mid. Now for the changes in the mid, this left side wall, there used to be a jump up here. The boxes on which you could stand and shoot has been removed, and now the elbow wall, which was a half wall and could be used to take fights, has now been closed off, making the elbow all covered except this ventilation which can be used to throw utils. And overall the mid looks a bit tighter. It has become a bit more tighter. And now in changes for the B side, the wall on the left as an attacker has been extended a lot, making it a B cubby right on the entrance. And the walls on the side of the sides and the back of the B side has been raised. So now the attackers have lesser angles to fight while entering the side B. So I think these changes in B are very interesting, and we'll love to see how this changes the dynamics in heaven. The spammable wall on the mid window. This wall has now been added with reinforcements, and these metal plates do break as the other walls in other maps. So this is the only change that has taken place on Haven. For changes in Corrode, there are few reinforcements of walls on A and B side, but as I have not played Corrode today, I am not sure about which walls have been changed. And if you want to know what changes have been made, I would like you to suggest watch Kanga Valorant's video on the map changes. He has demonstrated, and his videos on Valorant updates are top notch. Now we are going to talk about the new mode that is added to this new patch. The mode is named All Random One Side. It's an arcade type spike mode in which one side of the map will be only open for the gameplay, including some part of the mid, and every round you will be given a random agent, and it doesn't matter if you have unlocked this agent or not, you will be able to get that, including with start of every round you will get all of the abilities of the agent unlocked. You don't have to purchase them. And for the weapons, there will be a tier system that happens in the team deathmatch mode, in which there will be a selected combinations of weapon and shields which you can choose from, and you play like a spike rush. And there are alt ops. The usual number of alt ops have been multiplied. There are many alt ops in place of those special ops that are present in the spike rush mode. And this mode also favors use of multiple ultis as new spawns of ultimate ops, and killing enemy charges your ult meter by 50%. So it gives a very action-packed round of Valorant to play. Now we'll talk about some MMR changes. Now the hidden MMR calculation changes have been made, which will more focus on the player behavior itself. Now when you will launch the game, and as I launched the game, I was given a Riot Games community pack where I have to select all these, so that in future if I break any of these packs, I punish with penalties more. And the Riot developers have also talked about firmer penalties for severe offenses using voice and text chat for the disruptive behavior, and they have also made a section in the game if you are in danger or if you are having low behavior standings, then they will give you a notification that in future you might get a penalty, and for what reason you can get that penalty for. So the main motto is, if you couldn't respect other players, they have just said go play other games. I think it's a pot shot against CS2, where toxicity is a major complaint among the players. But yeah, now talking about agent changes, there have been major buffs given to Harbor, Breach and Vice. For Harbor, the Storm Surge and the Ultimate, now the slow duration that these abilities used to give has been increased. Also now the C ability will hit behind the walls if the enemy is in range, and the wind up time of this ability has also been decreased. For Breach, now the Breach's flashes travel faster in the air, and the width of the fault line ability of Breach has also been increased. For Vice, the radius of the Steel Garden ability has been slightly increased. For Teho, there have been some balance changes in which his stun duration has been decreased, but it is compensated by an additional 20 to 35 damage that has been added to the stun. Moreover, the drone radius of Teho has been halved, but now his scan has become more like Sova. Before it would be a one scan, but now it will keep scanning for a while behind the obstacles. So I think it's a balance change to Teho. In the patch 12 video, the developers also announced the VCT 2026, which is going to soon, with the kickoff starts January 16, and the new 2016 capsules have been also announced. And if you have seen all those capsules, which one do you think is the best and which one you are buying? Moreover, we are starting this season with VCT format as well. Now there will be no ascension for the challengers team, but they will directly compete as the stage 2 players for slots. Moreover, there have been addition of replay in custom games as well, and the devs have also teased that in future you will be able to download replays of your friends' career matches. New bundle, IFRC skin bundle, has been also launched in the game, and if you have purchased it, what do you think about it? Mention down below in the comments. Moreover, there has been some UI changes and the queue changes, which are a bit of major changes, because now how you select the modes in the game has been totally changed, and it has been hidden behind a menu. What do you think about these additional UI changes? Because for me, I think this change is a bit of hidden. I like the previous one better, but I think it's something that will grow on me as the time passes by. Now, as usual, every battle pass has a hint for the next agent as a player card, So this one's expected to be a controller, because the last controller that was added was Clove, which was added 2 years back, and this year the code name for the new agent is Sonic Alchemy. As the name suggests, it might be related to something to do with sound powers, and alchemy might be something related to healing. This is a point that Kanga mentioned in his video, and I think it matches what the name sounds like. I also expect that these are going to be like a sound-based healer type of agent, but as usual, Valorant doesn't follow, Riot doesn't follow any protocols. It might not be a controller and again a new duelist. So let's see when the new agent will be added, and most probably it will be at the in major event in the VCT circuit to 2026. Now in the gaming news, for this Counter-Strike community, we have a small update. There has been no major update. People who are waiting for cash or cobblestone to be dropped or new collection to be dropped, there is nothing such changes. There are no updates on new VAC 3.0. Instead, they have removed the recently added train, and just before the season starts, they have added Anubis back. Now we have to see if they've made any changes in Anubis, because recently they have removed the Anubis collection without announcement from the store. Let's see if there's going to be any collection changes or any map changes, because Anubis before its removal used to be a very T-sided map. Personally, I didn't like that map, but let's see what it brings in the esports scenario, how teams play new Anubis and what its pickup rate is. Now we are on the retro review, a section in which I talk about the games that I have played in the past and I review based on my memory. Now the game we are talking about is a game series which is very famous, very successful. Many of you have played it, and that's the Need for Speed series. I remember the game very vaguely because I used to play it on one of my relatives' PC, a laptop. It was the things that I remember about it is there was a track on which there were T-Rexes roaming around and UFOs flying and giant spheres with fires on the track. And when I used ChatGPT and searched a bit on the internet, I found that it was Monolithic Studio. The map name was Monolithic Studio, and the game was Need for Speed 2 Hot Pursuit. And it's going to be very vague review because I have played less than an hour or two of the game, and that also it's been a decade or so. But as I remember that map especially, I enjoyed playing it a lot, and it was very fun, responsive, and very innovative at that time to have such kinds of maps, because NFS Most Wanted and Carbon, as I remember, I have not played those games, but they were mostly based on realistic scenario or realistic maps. But this new addition and new thematic maps of NFS 2 were something very entertaining for me. And as a 5 rating, I would rate this game NFS 2 on the basis of very insignificant amount of time that I have played. I would rate this game as 7.6 out of 10. Have you played NFS 2? If yes, do you remember the Monolithic Studio with the T-Rexes and the UFOs? If yes, comment down below and let's bond together on that. Now moving on to the entertainment section of the podcast, the thing that we need to talk about is the recent drops by Marvel, the 2 or 3 teaser trailers of Avengers Doomsday that has been launched on the YouTube channel of Marvel. The one contains Captain America, second one is Thor, and the third one is Professor Charles Xavier and Magneto, and that too Rex, played by Mr. Patrick Stewart. So if you have seen, then you know. If anybody has not seen, it might be a spoiler. But the first one teaser shows Steve Rogers riding a bike and coming to his home. He's young and he carries a baby in his hand, which foreshadows it as his child with Agent Carter in some timeline in which he didn't return while returning all those Infinity Gems in Avengers Endgame. The second teaser showed Thor talking to Allfather and Odin in a forest and talking about parenting and his history and asking for blessings. And the third one showed a devastated institute of Professor X, in where Professor X is on his wheelchair and he is playing a game of chess with very old Magneto. And then there were some shots of Cyclops bursting out laser rays from his eyes, and in the background there were giant legs of those Sentinel robots. So it's very interesting to see. Yeah, they are trying to build hype for Doomsday, because recently there has been a slump in box office and also among the fans, the craze of Marvel MCU movies and the lore that they have been following. So let's see whether it has made a hype. What do you think about these teasers? But one thing that I focused and I think was to be noted about is that there was a theme the theme between these three teasers. In the first, there was a hero talking or depicting his newborn kid. In the second one, Thor, a superhero, an Avenger, he was talking about and caring about an adopted daughter who is actually the eternity itself. And in the third, there's a perspective of a superhero, Professor X, and he has been known to be caretaking of his pupils who are mutants. So there's a lingering line of parenting and guardianship and the responsibility that is going in all of these three teasers. Also, the Thor with his axe and that scene with his child reminded a lot me of Kratos in the new God of War reboot. And what are your thoughts on these? Do you still have faith in Marvel, in MCU? And are you excited for Avenger Doomsday? And yeah, and as everyone is hoping, I want to eagerly see Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom, but I think Marvel will not show its best of the cards so early. So I think we have to wait 6 months or more to be able to watch RDJ as Dr. Doom. So with this, we have come to the end of the podcast. How was the episode? Leave a like if you loved it. Share it with the people who think might be interested to hear or talk about these topics about esports, gaming, or entertainment. If you want to follow, all the links are in the bio. You can watch it on YouTube. And if you want to hear the podcast, it's available on all the major platforms: Spotify, Amazon Music, YT Music, Apple Podcasts, for speakers, Footbots, and many more. All the links are in my bio in the free link. So if you like this content, please follow. If you have any advice for me, put it down in the comment box. If you want to talk to me, you can check the Twitter account, official Twitter account, the TPP Perspective. And if you want any question or you want me to talk about any specific topic, use the hashtag TPP Perspective in the comments down below. And if I think it's enough, it's interesting to talk about it on podcast, I will sure give you a shout out and mention your question in the next episode, which will come a week later. And yeah, follow, subscribe, like, share, and peace.